Lord, the God of your father Abraham, and the God of Isaac, I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth.
In a time when the world was shrouded in uncertainty and people clung to their gods, one man was called out from the familiar into the unknown. His name was Abram. Little did he know, his obedience would ignite a legacy that would shape the destiny of nations. The voice of God came to Abram, instructing him,
"Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing."
Despite his age and uncertainty, Abram obeyed. With his wife Sarai and nephew Lot, they left everything they knew and ventured into the unknown, trusting in God's promise. The promise was great, a covenant that Abram would have descendants as numerous as the stars. But Abram and Sarai had no children. As they journeyed through the land of Canaan, famine struck, and they sought refuge in Egypt, where Abram faced his first test. Years passed, and still, Abram and Sarai had no children. But then God appeared to Abram in a vision, saying,
"Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward."
Abram, longing for a child, asked, "What can you give me, Lord, since I remain childless?" God reassured him,
"Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them. So shall your offspring be."
Abram believed the Lord, and it was credited to him as righteousness. But Sarai, doubting that she could bear a child, took matters into her own hands. She gave her maidservant Hagar to Abram, and Hagar bore a son named Ishmael. However, Ishmael was not the child of promise. One day, 3 visitors appeared to Abraham, and he quickly welcomed them into his home. As they ate, one of them, the Lord, said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son." Sarah, listening at the entrance of the tent, laughed to herself, thinking, "After I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I now have this pleasure?" But the Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for the Lord?" Indeed, nothing was too hard for the Lord. A year later, Sarah gave birth to Isaac, whose name means laughter, for both she and Abraham had laughed at the thought of having a child in their old age. Isaac was the embodiment of God's promise, the fulfillment of a covenant. But Abraham's faith would be tested one last time. God called to him, saying, "Take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you." Abraham, though heartbroken, obeyed. Isaac asked, "Father, where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham replied, "God himself will provide the lamb." As Abraham raised the knife to sacrifice his son, an angel of the Lord called out, "Do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld your only son." A ram was provided in Isaac's place, and God's covenant with Abraham was once again reaffirmed. Isaac, the miracle child, grew into a man of quiet strength, known for his deep faith. When it was time for him to marry, Abraham sent a servant to find a wife for Isaac. The servant prayed for a sign at a well, and there he met Rebekah. She offered him and his camel water, and the servant knew she was the one chosen by God. Isaac married Rebekah, and together they carried forward Abraham's legacy. But just like Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah faced a long wait for children. After years of praying, Rebekah conceived twins, Esau and Jacob. But even in the womb, the brothers struggled, a sign of the conflict that would mark their relationship. Esau, the elder, was a skilled hunter, while Jacob was quiet and thoughtful. One day, Esau returned from hunting, exhausted and hungry. Seeing this as an opportunity, Jacob offered Esau a bowl of stew in exchange for his birthright. Desperate, Esau agreed, giving up his inheritance for a simple meal. Years later, when Isaac was old and blind, he prepared to give Esau his blessing, which symbolized the transfer of leadership and favor. But Rebekah, who favored Jacob, helped him deceive his father. Jacob disguised himself as Esau, and Isaac unknowingly gave him the blessing meant for his brother. When Esau discovered the betrayal, his anger burned, and Jacob fled for his life. He went to live with his uncle Laban, where he would face his own trials. As Jacob fled from his brother's wrath, he had a divine encounter. In a dream, he saw a ladder reaching from earth to heaven, with angels ascending and descending on it. At the top stood the Lord, who said,
Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac, I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth.
When Jacob awoke, he said, Surely the Lord is in this place. And he named it Bethel, meaning house of God. Jacob's journey was not easy. After working for his uncle Laban for many years, Jacob married Leah and Rachel, and through them, his family grew. But Jacob knew he had to return home and face Esau. Before he could reunite with Esau, Jacob wrestled with a mysterious figure throughout the night. At daybreak, the figure blessed him, saying, Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with men and have overcome. As Jacob approached Esau, he bowed to the ground, expecting his brother's wrath. But in a moment of grace, Esau ran to embrace Jacob, forgiving him for the past. The brothers reconciled, and Jacob's journey came full circle. The God of Abraham and Isaac was now the God of Jacob, and the covenant continued. From Abraham's obedience to Isaac's quiet strength to Jacob's redemption, the story of this family is one of hope, faith, and a promise that transcended generations, a legacy that continues to shape the world today. This is the story of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, a story of trust, trials, and triumph. The promise made to Abraham lives on. What legacy will you leave? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Bible stories. Share this video to spread the message of faith and hope.